Hey guys, welcome back. This is Rahul. In this video we will talk about mouse events like double click, right click, mouse over, drag and drop, and scroll. So I'm creating a spec file, and I've created one describe init block, and I'll be using this website for right click and double click events. So if I right click, this pop-up is displayed, and on double click alert message is displayed. So the first it block is for the right click event. I'm writing the cy.visit statement and copy paste the URL. Now I just need to locate the element on which the action needs to be performed, that is right click. So this is the button like which needs to be right clicked. So if I inspect it, the right click me text is available. So instead of using this get, I can use contains and just pass the text. Okay, now we can use dot right click method which is available, and if I save the spec file, it should load the like website and right click on the button. Yeah, so this is working absolutely fine. So this is displayed, and you can perform actions accordingly on this edit, copy, paste. I'm creating one more it block. So in this the visit statement will remain the same, and we just need to change the text. So the text here is this: double click me to see alert, and just save the test case. So the first one is passed, and yeah, this is passed, and okay, so I forgot to change the action. We have to double click on the on this button. So for double click you can use dbl click. So you can see it double clicked on the button, but alert pop-up is not displayed. If I manually click on this button, the alert is displayed, but here this text is displayed, that alert, and the text of the alert pop-up like this: you double clicked me, thank you. So what happens here is Cypress automatically handles these alerts, and it clicks on the OK button. So if you want to verify the text, we need to create one method that is cy.on, and this is basically we are saying that whenever the alert is triggered, and for that we need to use window alert. So whenever within the browser this event is triggered, the alert pop-up is displayed. So we are writing the code that whenever this event is triggered, then we need to extract the text from the pop-up and compare it. So I have created a callback function, and I'll use this str variable to compare the text. So I'm using a normal expect assertion that expect the str to equal, and now we will pass our expectation. So we can just directly copy the text from here. We just need to pass this text, and this will compare the text whenever this alert is triggered, window alert event. Okay, so let's just save the spec file and see if it is working or not. So this is working absolutely fine. Also, as I mentioned that cy.on, like we are mentioning that this code should work whenever alert is displayed. So it is not like executing in an order. So if I put this code like before the double click, it will work in that case also. Yeah, you can see it is working absolutely fine. So we have covered right click and double click. Now we will cover the mouse over event, and like I'll create a new ad block for the mouse over event. So this is the ad block for the mouse over event, and let me just change the title. So for mouse over example, we will use a different website, and I'm using Amazon.in. And if I mouse over this hello sign in text, then an flyout is displayed. This account information is displayed basically. So we need to get the locator for this hello sign in ID or something like that, and we can trigger the mouse over event on this particular locator. So this is the ID which is available. So let me just quickly write the visit statement, that is cy.visit, and just mention the URL, that is amazon.in. So after visiting the website, we just need to mouse over, we just need to write the mouse over statement. So the locator was this was the ID available for the locator. And if you see like, yeah, we have successfully navigated to the amazon.in website. Okay, and to trigger the mouse over event, you just need to use the method that is dot trigger, and pass the event name which you want to trigger. So we want to trigger mouse over. So if we just write this, it will trigger the mouse over event on that particular element. Also like when we are doing this event, we need to add some assertion that this particular flyout is displayed or not. So we can grab the locator for that particular flyout, and add an assertion that like it should be visible or something like that. So yeah, this is the ID for the flyout, and I can after the mouse over, we can just write a statement that cy.get and pass the locator and add the assertion that it should be visible. So it should, and the parameter is it should be visible, basically a chainer. And before the mouse over, we can also add an assertion that it should not be visible. Then a series of events we can say are happening: visiting the website, then the flyout should not be visible, the mouse over event, and then it should be visible. So if I save the test case, two assertions should pass. So the first test case is running. Yeah, it first and second will obviously pass. We have executed them. So next time I'll use on only. So first and two are executed. For the third one, it will land on the amazon.in. So the website is loaded completely. Now it should pass two sessions. Yeah, it is passed two sessions. Like flyout is not displayed, mouse over, then the flyout is displayed. So this is and like you can do an exercise as well. You can just mouse over this flag, and you can verify the languages option are displayed, and try to click on any of the radio buttons. And different languages are available here: Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi. So try to click on any of the radio button, and that the website should change from English to that particular language. So this is one of the example of mouse over, and there can be certain scenarios where this trigger mouse over might not work. So let me show you one more example which you might find useful if the first one is not working for you. So let's just remove this. Let me use a different website. We have used it previously as well, so it is automationpractice.com. And if I mouse over this category like women and dresses, so this subcategories are displayed. Okay, and if I use a normal method like which I have used in the previous example, I like visit the website and I'm just adding it dot only because all the test cases are running fine. Okay, if I mouse over this text, then the category should be displayed. Okay, so we need to locate this element, and so we need to extract the locator and use the locator. So here so you can see like this is the class name which is available. Okay, so this is the class name which is available, and we have to use the text as well. So we will use like cy.get the class name. I need to remove one dot, and then it contains the text, so I'm giving the text as well. And now if I trigger the mouse over event, okay, then the subcategories should be displayed. Okay, so let's see if it is working or not. See, the test case passed, like it says that it triggered, but nothing happened. Okay, so the pop-up is not displayed, the subcategories are not displayed, so we will need to use a different approach here. So so what is happening here is the subcategory pop-up is hidden basically, so we need to invoke its property show. So to do that, we need to first extract the locator for that particular the text for the uh, subcategory. So now I can see the class, this SF menu clear fix. Okay, so this is the class which is available, but it looks like this is available twice. Yeah, this is the class submenu container clear fix, and yeah, this is available twice. Okay, so for each category, like for the first category women and dresses, the same class is available. So but we need to use like invoke the pop-up for the first category. Yeah, this one, the first one. So when you have a exactly same locator for two or more elements, you can use first or last if you want to use the first one or the last one. So this will fetch the first class locator and now we need to invoke the property, that is show. Okay, so now its property will be invoked. Okay, you can see the subcategory is displayed now. And similarly, like we used in the previous example, we can assert here that it should be visible after the property is invoked. So like I can add the assertion that it should be visible. Yeah, it is visible now, so assertion is passed. And similarly, we can like remove the invoke part and add the assertion that it should not be visible. So we will have two assertions. Yes, working absolutely fine. And now we can move to the drag and drop example. So for that, let's create a new it block, and I'll use only again because the other test cases are running fine. Let me just change the title of the test case, and we will use a different website for drag and drop. So let me show you. So before that, we need to install some plugin. This is provided by Cypress team, and if we do not use the plugin, then we will have to write a lot of code. I will show you what we need to write in that case. So let's just install this plugin, and I'll share this link in the description. And they have given the complete documentation that we had to add this piece of code in the command.js file, and then this is the example of drag and drop, and also you can use move as well to move the element to a particular location. X and y axis you need to provide, and then you can move the element. So let's add this piece of code uh, in the command.js file. And save it, and this is the website which we will use for drag and drop. And if I drag the items in the drag and drop to the drop here section, then they are added to the dropped item list. So this is the cy.visit statement, and let's locate the element, and we need to drag this element. So draggable 1 2 3 4, the text is available, so we will use contains here. And then we need to use dot drag. So we are able to use this method because of the plugin. Now I'm using the locator for the dropped location, and that's it. It should work, and let's see. So the website is loading. So these are pretty slow websites, so they first time they take a lot of time. Yeah, so the website is still loading. So you can see it dragged the draggable one to the dropped area, and it is added to the dropped list. And on the left hand side you can see all these events are triggered: pointer down, mouse down, drag start, and then drop, mouse up, pointer up. So these are all the basically event which are involved in the drag and drop action. So if you are not using the plugin, then you will have to use all these actions. I'm just adding the all the component like draggable 1, 2, 3, 4, and it should drag all the like components to the dropped area, and they should be added to the dropped list. So let's see, website is loading. It is pretty slow. I did not find any other website for the solution for this example. Yeah, you can see draggable 1, 2, 3, 4, all these are added to the dropped list. So you can use this drag and drop plugin for this example. Okay, and now we are left with only one event, that is scroll. So let's add another test case, and I'll remove this code, and I'm changing the title, verify the scroll event, and I'll add the it dot only statement here. Okay, so for scrolling, let's use a different website. I'm gonna use this w3schools.com, and I'll try to scroll to the footer part maybe. So let's just add the visit statement and save the test case. Yeah, so once the website is loaded, we will try to scroll to this CSS exercise part. So I'm using this Cypress Open Selector only to quickly grab the locator and use the scroll event. So this is scroll into view. As the name suggests, it will scroll down to that particular element. You can see it scroll down pretty quickly. But if you want to see the scrolling happen, you can add an optional parameter that is duration, and we can give duration in milliseconds. I'm passing 2000 milliseconds, that is 2 seconds. So it will take 2 seconds to reach that particular element. So now we can add one more like event once it scrolls down to that particular element. Now we can add one more element here, like this learn HTML, and maybe we can try to scroll up the page once it has scrolled down to the CSS exercise page. So here I'm using duration as 1 second, so this time the scrolling would be faster than. So it did not scroll. Okay, so I forgot to use this locator. I used the same locator, and now it should work. But first it should scroll down and then to the top. Yes, it is working absolutely fine. So in this video we have covered pretty much all the possible mouse events, that is right click, double click, mouse over. We saw 2 examples for mouse over, and then the drag and drop, we need to use a plugin for that, and then the last one is scrolling. So this is pretty much about it. Thank you guys.